Stampers and friends, I'm so sorry I'm late. It is Nemi Backstone here with Nemi's Crafty Cafe, coming to you from my studio in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. I lost track of time. My apologies. I thought I had a few more minutes and then I looked at the clock and I went, no! So that is my bad. So if you're here, like, share, comment, let me know. And I'm just going to make sure and I didn't turn off my do not disturb, so let's hope that today we are okay. Rush, rush, rush. My apologies. I'm so sorry I'm late. So it is Friday. Woohoo! TGIF Friday. I'm going to take a sip of my water. And it's a busy one. So just a few reminders and then we'll get crafting. My card won't take that long, but it's a fun fold for today. But if you haven't placed your $100 order yet, please do. You'll get your product of the month. Pick me as a demonstrator and you'll get a kit for all of this stuff this week and that I've created. The 5 cards that I've created this week, you'll get a kit with everything in it. And don't forget too that to use your bonus day coupons. I think that was something that I wanted to remind you all about too, is I haven't used my bonus day coupons yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta. So I'm going to pool those y'all today and make sure I get my next order in. I've got so many orders in, it's not even funny. I've worked on my links. They are starting to be posted on my website, nemibackstone.stampinup.net. I've picked up this kit already, so I'm looking forward to sharing that. Good morning, Shell. Thanks for joining me. Last Chance products are updated, and I've signed up for Paper Pumpkin this month. And did you know you can also suspend your Paper Pumpkin? So just so you know, if it's not a month you like and you have a subscription, suspend it. Registration, if you are looking to add the stamp set to your kit, I'm just going to remind everybody to please let me know by today. I'll reach out to you anyway, so then that way it's not delayed for when I ship it out the week of the 15th. And if you haven't yet thought about it, you still got time. You have till March 2nd to pick up the join offer, which is the Stampin' Positioner. There's lots of fun things I've seen going on with it. So I'm hoping this weekend I have time to create and play with it and share it with you next week. And you can add online exclusives to your kit. So don't feel like it's FOMO. So if you have FOMO like me, then you definitely want to do that. And then, of course, we have my early bird registration, which will open up hopefully today. And you have, again, until March 2nd. It's 89 bucks. I'm opening up my house too on the 21st if you'd rather be in person because, you know, we're here. We're here to create together as much as possible and, you know, meet Sarah, our CEO's goal of, you know, trying to help cure a bit of loneliness. So you can do it virtually or you can do it in the comfort of your own home. Bring a friend or two maybe to sign up with you and have your own little party. There will be door prizes, a mystery challenge, and 12 make and takes plus bonus projects. So super excited about it. It is a chilly morning. We got spoiled yesterday. Welcome, Margaret. Thank you for joining. And we are going to wrap up today with some Last Chance products that are featured and celebratory sips. Since I did it yesterday, I'll just do it again today. But I wanted to bring in two, well, I'll get to it when we get there. Okay, so we're going to play with this. And the nice thing about this is if you place your order, minimum $60, preferably $100, so you get the free paper. You can buy the paper at $5, the designer series paper. I have little, I noticed on my floor I had these little pocket sidebar. Oh, there it is. And I'm like, why do I have these little rubbery things on the floor? And they've fallen off of my paper trimmer. That's why. Sorry, sidebar, squirrel. Okay, so let's create. We won't be here too long, but I wanted to show you some fun. So again, this paper is on sale for $10.20. And I've shared with you yesterday as well, in case you missed it on my replay. The stamp set is 50% off, and then the dies are also another 30. So you're saving like 20, 25 bucks on the set itself. Super cute, but you also can get the designer series paper because you can fussy cut the drinks, but then you also have all these blanks, so you'd have to use cloud cover, but we're going to create one drink with it today just to use up that sheet. And let's get started. So let me just move all my stuff out of the way, and I'll show you the card that we're going to create for Friday. Okay, so this is Friday's Fun Fold. It's got a little sneak peek, another secret pouch in it, which just flips up like this for you to do a little bit of writing. So we're going to create this one, except I'm going to, instead of Daffodil Delight, I'm going to use Fresh Freesia. Hard to say. Okay, so super easy. So I've got my Fresh Freesia, and I've cut out, so this is the centerpiece that fits in here. So I used the textured note dies because when I scrolled through the Last Chance products, I was surprised. I was surprised to find that this was on there. And it is pretty much about $10 less. It's regular $43 and it's now dropped to $34.40. I use this one a lot. So if you want a good deal, and if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then you get an additional 20-25% off, depending what tier you're in, off of this price. So that makes it even sweeter. But look at all the beautiful, gorgeous, detailed rectangles you get. And then you get the one long, slim one for any sentiments, which I've used plenty of times. It doesn't stick on my sheet because it's bent so much because I use it so many times. So anyway, we are using this third largest, and it's definitely something you can add to your order because I'm like, what? Last Chance? So definitely pick that one up while supplies last. Okay, and another thing with this suite is it also has two of the embossing folders. One is Glass and Garden, and the other, so one is Glass, which is this, and the other one is Garden. Oh my, and good morning. Maybe, no, it's not a good morning because I was late. I got distracted by Bart saying, I'm doing dump run. I'm like, so I had to go grab garbage and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then I lost track of time. So here is an example of the Garden one. So it has, which is this one here. So I did the flower one and this one, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to do the other one for today. So you'll tell me which card you'll like better. So I used the Lemon Lolly Pastel Shimmer because, you know, glass, I wanted it to shine. I don't know. And I thought it would match better with the Fresh Freesia. I felt like the Daffodil Delight was not a great choice, but it looks okay. I probably should have went with maybe an orange. But there's a lot of yellow shades in here, and then I ended up covering it also. What benefit did that do me? Okay, so that's why I'm switching colors. So you have to tell me whether my thought process is crazy. Okay, and then we have an inside. So we're going to do a little bit of cutting and scoring so you know how to make this card. So you have a standard base, 5.5 by 8.5. Sorry, I have to move my pieces. So you're going to score it slightly different, right? So you need a 4 1/4. So then you're going to score the other two. So you're going to score at 2 1/8, which is half of 4 1/4. That's why we always score at 2 1/8. And then you're going to score at 4 1/4 because that's the half of the actual card. Okay, hope that makes sense. Ta-da! And then you're just going to grab your phone folder. You're going to fold it in half. Oh yeah, this one has I'm like, is this the one that has my name etched in it? Yes, it does. Look how old mine is. It's already so worn out. Okay, and then we fold it in half again. So half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. So that's 2 tick marks after the 2. Okay, and then that's our card base. It's your standard Z fold, to be honest, right? So you could do Z fold anyway. I can even do my card this way, right? Like you can do your card that way, whatever you prefer. But this, we're gonna go portrait today. Okay, so then we need a piece for here, and we need a piece here, and this is our secret. So for this piece, like I said, you have lots of choices on here for your designer series paper. right? So you can pick any one of these fun ones. We're going to use this one obviously for the secret one, secret flip. And then you have all of these three, I would say, to choose from. Or you could go solid and go strawberry slush here if you want, or secret seed. Doesn't really matter, just whichever one you prefer. But because we're using this one, because we're going fresh freesia, I chose this because we're doing fresh freesia. So this one's got the spots. I love this strawberry slush spots. I think that's why I ran out and I have like 3 partial packs. Okay, so you can pick and choose whichever end you want to go to. I'm going to pick this one because there's a little bit of purple showing on that one. So we're going to cut this down to 2 inches. I'm only going to use a 1/16 of a border. And then it is 5.5 inches tall, but we need to go 2 ticks smaller. So 5 3/8. Does that math make sense to you? I hope so. And this one is just garbage. I don't keep that small pieces. Do you? How small of a piece do you actually keep? I was trying to clean out my scrap bin because I asked that question because, did I cut that right? Oh, I cut it wrong. Hang on, I cut too short. I think I went to the 5 1/4 instead. So let me try that again. At which point, I'm gonna use this side. So I'm gonna go 2 inches. Let's try that again. 5 1/2 is over here. Let me just double check. What did I do wrong? 5 1/2 down 2. No, I'm right. Maybe this is wrong. Let me just double check. Aha! That's why. For some reason, my card base is off. So 5 1/2. It's not that. It's this. There we go. Haha. Found you. Okay. My card base was off. We're okay. We're fixed. We're good to go. GTG. Back in action again. Yep, there we go. Okay, so as I was saying, squirrel. So one of the things I do at my crop is I always bring my scrap bin because I have so much scrap. You know, when you're doing Facebook Lives, you're doing workshops, you're kitting all year round, you end up making a lot of scrap. So I bring it so that everybody can use my scrap instead of cutting off a little piece off of their, card stock. So I was cleaning it out and I'm like, why do I have these small weird pieces in here? So anyway, that's why I asked the question, how small do you go? Okay, so there's our front flap. And then we need our bright yellow, which goes here. I'm just gonna make sure I cut that right. And I won't know if I did. I think I just kind of like, I did the work last night and then just double checking because it looks a little longer. But also I do find, yeah, it's just a hair off, like literally. I do find that when I was preparing last night, sometimes I just don't think. Because, get home from driving my kids around, being their personal Uber, and then forgetting. Okay, so I pull, it's a little brighter, but that's okay. You're going to cover, well, you'll see most of this one, but I think it adds a nice little shimmery punch. Because, glass is kind of shiny when you have, except for when you have it full with your cocktail already. But I wanted to bring this in. Oops. Just trying to line it up because I can't get my head in there. And then I purposely kept that edge there to show, the end of the glass. So if you were to make this into a drink and actually die cut, you probably would have that as your top and then the glass all these through. I don't know. That's what I think that's what I did when I did this as a workshop. Okay, so here's that beautiful flower and then the stripies on the back. So we need to put that here and we're gonna match the same size. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna pull out the arm on our paper trimmer. So a standard card base is 5.5. So times 2 is 11. But we want to go and 16th inch all around. So we need to cut it to 10 3/4. Sorry. I think it was 10 3/4. 10 3/4 then makes it 5.5 minus 1. Okay, we'll find out. oh wait, I'm gonna go this way first because I want my long strip. Sorry. So 4 1/4 minus 1/8. So we're minus 2. So we're gonna go like that. And I have my strip here, so I'll know from last time. Yep, we're good. Yep. Okay, now I'm gonna rotate. Because the reason I did that, sorry, is because I want to keep this long strip. Because then I can use this more for cards or scrapbooking. Because now I have a 12 by 12 by 2 and something. So this is gonna go on a scrapbook page. Excuse me. Good morning, Christine. Okay, so again, this is 12, but we only need 11 inches because, well, we need less than 11 inches. So we're gonna go 10 3/4. Oh wait, I think that's right. Should be right. Let me just double check. Oops, I dropped my paper. Hang on, I just dropped my paper on the floor. Okay. Yeah. So we're to match the other side, we're now gonna score this. So we're gonna go, so normally it's 5.5, but we went 2 notches smaller, so we're gonna go 5 3/8 again. And then we should be the same size as the other two, and they all should line up perfectly on the actual sheet. So then I put the orange on the inside and then the flowers on the outside because you're gonna cover up. You're gonna end up covering up some of it with the base. And I think I purposely cut my base slightly different, so you'll see. So where's my card base? There it is. So now we have these 3 patterns and perfect. It's the right. Oh, I didn't fold that straight or I didn't cut it straight. One of the two. Let me just double check here. I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure I'm good. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, oh, it looks a little longer. Hang on. Nope, it's right. It's just my eyesight today, I think. Oy vey. Maybe it's not a fun Friday. It's a crazy Friday. Okay, so I'm going to add my adhesive. Make sure I'm 1/4 inch in. Remember I told you I ran out of adhesive? Well, hopefully it gets here. It's supposed to get here, I think, February 10th. So there we go. My middle initial in the middle there. To add some love to my sheet, to my card base. And then we literally have that 1/16 of an inch all around. Okay? Matching up with the other. And we'll just hair bigger on the bottom there. So now we have all 3 panels and they close this way. And when they open it up, they're like, where's my message? Oh, wait, yeah, in here. I have to open this to then get my message. And ta-da! Okay, so now we need an inside for this one. So let's see if I cut this one all right. I think I purposely did. Okay, I did. Okay, so I wanted to make sure I had enough edging. So I went smaller than 4 by 5 1/4. So I did another 1/8 of an inch off because I wanted to see more. So if you want to see more, then just cut off more. Here, let's do that. So let's just cut off another 1/8 because so then you can see. So that would be the first tick mark for me on my paper trimmer. And then I'm going to rotate it again too to get to that first tick mark, which is another 1/8. And then that way I get a little bit more of the orange stripe, diagonal stripe showing. So that's all we took off was literally that much. Now, if you were part of the virtual retreat, they would save those and use them. It was crazy how we had to cut those and use those. I was like, it turned out beautiful, but it's not a card I would do again. It's gorgeous though. Okay. Oh, somebody gave me an angry face. What did I do wrong? Okay, so before we go, we're going to stamp this. Or was that a boo-boo? Okay, what are you mad about? Please tell me, because then I will always improve. So we're going to take, I guess, this inside. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take the lemon, or it can be an orange. So there's this beautiful stamp, which could be a lemon, or it could be an orange slice, or it could be lime. And I'm going to add that to the bottom corner here, like so. And then I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'll show you what I did here. So on the sticky side of the Post-it note, where it's sticky, I'm going to stamp another one, and it's going to be my mask. So you could use masking tape, or you could use a Post. This is so small I'm using in masking. And I've already done one. So if you put it down here, it's not sticky and it won't sit. So then I'm going to take my sticky, which I already did once, and I'm also, and I'm going to cover it right along the edge. Now you want to make sure when you cut this, you leave no white spot. So you want to make sure you cut right on that line. So then that way it masks your stamp so we can overlay. So now I'm going to take the strawberry that came in this kit and use, or in the stamp set, and use real red and stamp my strawberry. You can see I already did it once. Make sure, oops. Make sure I did that. And if you want to, you can also color it in. So now because I stamped my strawberry, and it's so tiny. Give me a second. I'm going to grab take your pick tool and pull it up. Now it looks like the strawberry is behind the actual piece. Now, because I've already done that once, I can reuse this over and over again. So I'm going to find my stamp set. And then what I like to do, because it's a mask, is just stick it on the inside of my case. Then that way it's there. So I made a little bit of a boo-boo there. So I'm going to fix that up by coloring. So I'm going to color my strawberry. The other one I did not. So I'm going to grab my 50 million colors and find my red. So I'll just use, I think I'll use Poppy Parade. So I'll use dark Poppy Parade. And then I'm just going to color in that strawberry. Because I don't want to use real red, because then it'll be too dark. But Poppy Parade is a shade lighter. And I'm just going to color it completely in. We don't need to do, you don't always have to blend with our blends. They can also just be used as standard markers. So don't feel like you have to. So now I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow light. And I'm going to, ooh, that's a bad tip. I've worn out the tip. So I'm going to add my green up here in the leaf. There we go. Oakley dokley. I missed a little bit there. So I'll clean that up. Maybe I'll give you the other one. Looks like I let a little bit of boo there. Now I could also color the rind. as well. But I think, okay, maybe we're here, might as well. Let me grab my Daffodil Delight. And we'll color that in. The rind. And then and again, we're not using it as a blend. We're just using them as markers. Okay. Like so. Alrighty. Oops. This is my marker case. I keep all my stuff now in the case because I go to so many crops, and I also have my own. So then I host my own, so then it makes it a lot easier. Now that goes on the inside here. So we're going to put that here on the inside. And there's still plenty of room to write or leave a message, whatever you want on there. At least I think so. So now we're just going to take this and add this to the inside. Oh, the sun is shining. It's so nice. But also that means it is colder. Okay. And go there. We'll see how much sun shines onto my table after. Okay, we're almost done. So now we have this, which is our card, and goes here like so. And I've pretty much cut this white piece to pretty much fit just right inside there. So I think it's 3 3/4 by 2 3/8, I believe. Yeah, 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. Sorry, I lied. And that'll fit right in there. So this is the piece we're going to stamp. Now you can fussy cut again. And I think I did do that. So I just got, oh yeah, I fussy cut one of the cups already. And it's got a little bit of the orangey look, right? So this is going to go here so you can see it covers up quite a bit of the pattern. And then it brings out the purple from there. And then you could actually take one of these here and turn it into a cocktail. So I kind of like, we can go, so this one is pretty dark, so you could go, which one do you want to match with kind of thing. I think the purples are a little too dark, but we do have fresh freesia in it. So we could use that one. So let's do that. So I'm going to grab Smoky Slate, I think, to make our cocktail. Because this one you can see it has a light shade. And then I'm going to grab the stamp. So we have multiple stamps and we're going to use the tall glass. We didn't stamp anything with this one, so yesterday was all about, like we did only just the sentiment. Oops, I need that one. So I'm going to pick, which one? This one, right? Okay. So then I'm going to stick that. So polymers, I let it rest and then I pick it up. So this one, if I do the whole thing, the glass is full. But we don't really fill our drinks all the way to the top, right? So what we're going to do is make sure we have white space above that. So I'm going to take this and my drink is going to be filled up to a certain point. Oh, I think I dropped it already. So let's make sure. Maybe there. So there's my drink cup. Okay, so it's not all the way to the top. Just noting that. Although you probably feel like you're getting ripped off because it's not. So there is a die for this, but this is such an easy cut. I'm literally just going to go in and cut this. And I wanted to show you, this is why these exist. So you can make your own drinks per se. I'm going to get rid of that big, huge paper so I'm not flipping. And then we're just going to follow the lines and move our paper, not our scissors, and cut along the way. And there's our bevy. So now we have two beverages. One that will go here. Why do I have all that on there? I'm going to flip to the other side. And then another beverage that goes here. Now I feel like this beverage also needs a little bling bling on the top or something in it. So I'm just going to stamp this on some scrap white that I had sitting around here. I think we'll use a little leaf. It feels kind of blah. And we'll just add like a leaf inside there because I feel like it's missing something. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap. Look, I was going to make my own cup and then I changed my mind. And we'll just add that one to the other end there. And then I'm going to grab some mossy meadow so that we have something dark and green. And a block. Even though I'm 5 minutes late today, we still got time. Because we're pretty much done. There we go. And then we can color that in a bit. So I'm going to grab old olive or any green. See how dark that green is? It's almost like a garden green, really. But we'll just use old olive just to be on the safer side. And we're just going to color it anyway. So I'm going to grab old olive out of my box or container of markers. Wrong tip. I don't want to use that one. I know I've worn out too. Need to get more old olive, but there's so many that are currently not available. They're all on back order. And they're not available again until February 9th. I'm like, oh, I need to replenish my blends. And I'm not a Copics person because I do not know how to blend shades very well. And that's why I love the Stampin' app, because it just tells me what colors to use, and the fact that I only have 2 colors to work with, or 2 shades to work with, I'm good with that. Okay, so there is a die for this as well. It's in here. It's this one. It's this one here in the corner, and it fits right over top, like so. Now, you're probably wondering, why do we have holes in our dies? Because holes in our dies tells us where the stem goes. So if you can see the stem through there, then that's where that fits. And then I'm going to just take a piece of tape and make sure that my stem is through that hole. And yes, it is. And then on the other piece, and then I'm just gonna run that through my machine real quickly, which is right beside me. And I'm just using my mini for this one because it's so small. I don't need the big boss. And done. Okay. And I'm just gonna put this back on its sheet so I don't lose it. And, oh, it slid. It slid a bit, so I'm just going to cut around it a bit more along this side. I won't get the jagged lines that they've added, just to clean that up a bit. And then this can go in our drink, like so. Now, if you want it to be super fancy, you can add a slit so that you see the paper going over top the drink, but I don't think we need to do that. It can also go on this one as well, so that way it looks like it's part of that drink. So, and here we could heat emboss cubes on there if we wanted to, and then add that piece there. I think I kind of want to put it on this one instead. Yeah, I think we're going to go down below. Okay, that's where we're going to go. So now I'm going to grab Blackberry Bliss because it coordinates and it kind of pulls out all the colors there. And here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I'm going to go like this again and block my sun view. And we're going to grab our sentiment. And this one has a nice big cheers. So I'm going to put cheers up here in the corner. Cheers. And then we're going to grab the word to you. It is so small. And I'm going to tap light. And then I'm going to tap light because it's so tiny. To you. Just like that. Yes, we're putting you there. So I'm going to grab a couple mini glue dots to add this to our bevy. Let's stick one on the back there. And then one here. And it's going to go right into our cocktail. Like so. Or mocktail, whichever. I make this dirty soda that the kids love. And it's two shots of, or 2 pumps of blueberry, like the Tirani blueberry, and then 2 pumps of vanilla. And then you add Sprite, and then a splash of, what is it, International Delight Vanilla, French vanilla creamer, like the coffee creamer. Oh, so good. Mix. Of course, you pour it all over ice. And then you mix it, and it's like so yummy. So yummy. Okay, so we're just gluing these down because we're going to add dimensionals to this piece and pop it up. So then this one goes like that. So I already got a dot there. That's why my finger keeps sticking. And then we're going to add this. So what I'll do is I'll just give you cutouts for these. So then you can fussy cut your own for yesterday's card and today's card. And you don't have to stamp anything. And then this now will go here. Like I said. Okay, and it looks like we're going to use up some of this. So I'm going to use up the big ones. 4 and then 1 in the middle. So I'll stick that one in the middle so my card doesn't fall down. This one in each corner. Like so. And the other corner. And then we'll just peel those off. And then we're good. Or not. Huh. Oh, I can't get that one off. There you go. Cheerio. Goes in my little scrap bowl. And then put that on there. And ta-da! And then now all that's left is to add this here. So now we're going to flip that over. Grab my Seal Plus. Add some adhesive. Now only halfway, because otherwise you can't open your card. It's stuck to my finger. It's so sticky. And then we'll make sure that that's centered. And then make sure there's no adhesive showing here. Nope. We did good. And that's it. Just add some bling. So the bling I chose for this one is our Sparkle Dot Essentials. I always end up with half a pack because I guaranteed I used it for a workshop or something. And this one's got that petunia pop in there that almost looks more like fresh freesia. So we're going to grab that. So I'm going to grab it and then add it here to the card with my Take Your Pick tool. Oh, sun. Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. I'm trying to block it a bit. That's not working either. Okay, so, sure I'm still in view. Yep. Okay, so then we'll grab these here, and I think I'm gonna use, yeah, I'll use this mini. I'm gonna put one up here. And there's 3 different sizes, but I think I'll use the smaller, rather than that big one. It's too big. too big for this cocktail, I think. And we'll put it... I'll put it down here. Still draws the eye towards the top, pulling it that way. Okay, so there's our card. So you open it up and go, oh, where's the message? Oh, it's inside there. Ta-da! So it's a really fun and simple fun fold that adds a really good, nice punch and really shows off your designer series paper as well. So here's the two colors. Let me know which one you like more. So if you win the draw, I send you the right one. So this one's got the Daffodil Delight on it. And then this one's got the Fresh Freesia. Fresh Freesia. I've heard somebody also say Fresh Freesia because it's S-I-A. I'm not too sure on the pronunciation. So that threw me off. So those are our two options there. And then again, this one uses the flower, the garden embossing folder. And here I used the glass. And then we did the same on the inside. I think I might fix this because this is really bothering me that the yellow and the orange sitting there. So I'm going to put another piece over top right away as soon as we're done here. So that's it. So I'll be back again tomorrow, but it will be scrapbook. And then Sundays, I'm never online. That's my day to rest. So my day to rest and create and do whatever with the family. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you tomorrow morning at 9. And happy stampin'. Don't forget, like, share, comment to win these cards.